Alright, welcome back everybody. I'm continuing my playthrough. If you're watching this way in the future, maybe this will be stitched together, so this cut might be a little jarring. But previously this was split up into episodic content, and that's probably how you're viewing it, so this will not seem weird to you at all. But welcome back everybody. I'm a little scared right now because my recording software is really glitching out. I can't actually see if it's recording. It's really nerve-wracking. I have to just trust that not only is my video recording, but my audio is as well. It's really stupid. Anyway, you don't care about that. Let's continue my full Billy Saves the World complete Golden Path walkthrough. Now I'm going to obviously take this one step at a time. Like I said, I'm going to try to do everything relatively slowly. And I'm going to try to give hints before I solve things, just so I don't give away the answer. So if you want to watch this and maybe you don't want to have the solution ruined for you, I'm going to try to give you hints so you can just get a little bit of a tease and then try to figure it out yourself if you're ever stuck at a puzzle or something like that. But this is where we left off, so let's check our to-do list here. I need to find 100 SP and bring it back to Mac so that he can install the Appy store on my phone. I can do this by looking inside caves, exploring the planet, or talking to locals. So this is basically where the game opens up. We're now free to explore the planet however we want, and we're able to accomplish this first real mission any way that we want to. We can explore, walk around, take things more of a chill vibe. We can go inside of caves and explore there and be challenged by more of an action platforming way, or we can go talk to the locals and maybe solve some puzzles and collect 100 SP that way. Now, that was a weird, he lost balance there for a moment. Now I already have 86 protons there. I already have 86 spirit protons, so I don't even need that many. But right away, we're going to find this monument here. And if we interact with it, I can feel some sort of energy resonating from this stone. Taking a chance here. What's going to happen? Something good? Something bad? Ooh, okay. So, for those who've played the game, or you're a little bit farther than me, you'll know this is a health monument. You can use this to purchase additional heart pieces. We've got the Alchemist's heart, we've got the Explorer's heart, the Spirit heart, and the Alien heart. Now, just as a heads up, they cost 50 SP. That's not that much, but just so you know, the price increases each time. It actually doubles, I believe, or something like that. So next time this is going to be, I think the only time it doesn't double is the second time. The second time it triples. So it goes 50, 150, 300, and then the final heart piece you'll need to spend 600 SP to get. So if that changes your opinion on what one you might take first, I thought I would let you know. But let's look at these and kind of go over them. So we've got the Alien heart here. It adds 1 permanent heart piece to your life and allows for travel to the deepest depths or the outermost limits of the universe with no adverse effects to your primitive human lungs. So in short, you can swim forever and you can go in outer space. You won't lose oxygen. If you're swimming, you're going to need to collect air bubbles, and it makes things a little more difficult. I'd say quite a bit more difficult without this heart piece. And if you're in space, you just simply cannot go to space without a way to breathe. Now, there's more than one way to go to space. You could complete the entire game without ever purchasing the Alien heart. And that's kind of a hint. Now, the Spirit heart, this is going to seem pretty appealing to people right off the bat. The only heart with a connection to the dead, the Spirit heart adds 1 permanent heart piece to your life and doubles the worth of all Explorer protons collected, Spirit protons collected. So every time, now this is a little note here, every time you find SP on the planet, when you literally pick it up, it will double that. So 1 will equal 2. It doesn't double ones that are given to you, say from an NPC or from completing a level. Those will be the same. This is purely from when you are collecting it in the world. So keep that in mind. I think most people will probably want to pick this one. That's what they'll lean towards on their first go-around. The Explorer's Heart. This heart has direction and purpose. It will add 1 permanent heart piece to your life and will sing and shine when near Explorer coins and other noteworthy finds. If you're someone who wants to try to get as many collectibles as possible, I would get this one first, because you may miss some coins early on without it, and you'll have to backtrack. So I usually tell people that this is maybe the one you actually want to get first, so that you don't miss anything. But if you don't really care about collecting things, and it doesn't even just have to be only collecting things, because you can also sell coins as well, which is very handy. They don't seem like they're worth that much, but when you add them up, they actually end up giving you a lot of SP back. So it's actually it's actually pretty worthwhile to get this one early on. The one that will probably be the least popular will be the Alchemist's Heart. And let's read this one. Created with the rarest ingredients in the galaxy, this adds 1 permanent heart piece to your life and gifts its host with a masterful knowledge of alchemy. All unknown items become known, and you will see the outcome of any mixture before crafting it. Now, this one is probably my fault. I didn't really do a great job explaining what it does, and I don't even think people who play the game and buy this heart even understand what it ends up doing. It's actually pretty valuable, but I don't think that many people like crafting who buy this game. So far, the people who buy this game haven't really shown an interest in crafting, and so they don't really get the value from it. So I would rank this one the least of your worries, unless you like to craft. It is very valuable. I actually think it's valuable, but I know what it does. So I'm going to show this one later on, and I'm going to show you what the game is like without it, so that you can actually learn to appreciate it later on. And I think for the purposes of this walkthrough, I'm going to start with the Explorer's Heart. I was going to do this one, but I'll do this one. Now you might be wondering, Cooper, why did you just spend 50 SP to get that heart when you're supposed to be trying to get 100 SP for Mac? Well, I have more life now, so now I feel a little bit better about exploring. I'm not always down. I'm not just on the edge of my seat now. So I would recommend, if you're playing this game, buy the heart first. You'll thank yourself later for it. It'll allow you to make more mistakes in the future. The game seems to have quite a bit of a difficulty curve for people, so this will mean you'll have more chances to try things out. Now already I'm going to stop talking. Do you hear that chime, that ringing sound? So that's the Explorer's Heart. Even if you have your sound off, you can see in the upper left corner the heart is shimmering. It's actually kind of moving there. So that's letting you know that you're near an Explorer coin. And we'll get to that later. I'm not going to actually do the collecting yet. I'm going to save. You can actually see the coin up there when the camera zooms out. You see it in the upper left? The coin is right up there. We can't even reach it right now, but it's letting us know there's one close by. But I'm gonna get most of the collectibles near the end of my playthrough. I'm gonna reach a certain point in the story where I kind of circle back and start doing that kind of stuff. So this. Alright, so we found our first little bit of a side quest here, our first true side quest. And so we can look at our to-do list. And just a heads up for people, well, I'll show that later on actually. So we've got two things here. We've got the little dot beside them showed us that we had two alerts. I came across a large stone slab resonating with energy. It took spirit protons from me and made me stronger. I should keep an eye out for more of these things. Blind investigation. I came across a blind alien local who has no idea his poor pet has died. I feel really bad. I wonder if there's anything I can give him. So you can see right here there's a dead rat with flies flying around him. I probably should have zoomed in so people see that better, but it's there. Once you talk to this guy, you can actually examine this hat. He's asking for donations. We have a large coin. We have some explorer coins as well. Let's give him a large coin. He's looking for donations, so can we do it? So, he mentioned his glory days. I bet I could find him something that would take him back to his days as an ocean explorer. So there's your hint. This guy doesn't want money, but he wouldn't mind something that takes him back to his days as an ocean explorer. So let that sit in your head for a bit. Also, shout out to Steve Irwin. That's the kind of homage. This guy's name is Irwin here. Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, of course, was killed by a stingray, I believe. So that guy's name is Irwin. He's blind. We continue to the east. We find this interesting looking area. We also can hear... We can hear the explorer's heart going off again. Now what is this thing? Alright, so we're taken to the world map. Now, as you can see, you've got quite a few areas you can explore right off the bat. We've got where we are here, Station B on the North Island. On the East Island, we got Home of the Faithfuls. Looks like a city in the background there. The Outlands to the south, and then we've got the Rocky Shore to the west. And there's another one here that we can't use, the Sanctuary. There's even a mainland down below. We can't go to any of these yet. And there's also the outer limits. So this is space. We cannot go here either. These seem to be all locked. Remember this part here. Remember this top one that I'm on right here, the Zenith Station. See how there's nothing up there other than that green kind of ship thing? Remember that, because I want to show you something later on, much later in the game. So try to keep that in mind. I'm going to show you something on this map later on in the game. But let's stick here for now, because there's some caves I haven't. There's a cave back here I didn't explore. Let's go in here and see what happens. So this cave is technically called Basics 2. And this cave here was meant, it doesn't really do it, unfortunately, it was meant to train people how to slide jump and really get used to slide jumping. Most people, unfortunately get here and they kind of just do that. They fall down, which is fine, they're learning, right? So now they're down here. They come across this boulder. Can't slide into this one. That's interesting though. Keep that mental image in your head. Remember that there's a boulder there. And maybe you'll be too scared to try this again. We'll come back here later, and there's a reason for why I'm saving this till later. So we still need almost just under 50 more protons. The easiest way would be to just beat a couple levels. and you could get SP that way. But let's do some exploring. Let's see what we got here. So let's go to the West Island here, the Rocky Shore. This is one of the few levels that does not have any music. It's just calming sound of what's supposed to be kind of ocean or watery waves. This track is an ambient track by Jonathan Barras. He did some sound for Game of Thrones and some other cool stuff. I think he does visual effects now, actually. But he did some of the sound in the game. What's this? So there's a little crevice here. We can't seem to crawl in there. We're too big. So that's began another side quest. I found a cave entrance on West Arlet that I'd love to explore. Sadly, I can't quite slip through. Maybe if I could find a way to grease it up, I could slide right in. There's a little hint. I tried to give hints in every kind of thing. Maybe they're too vague, but I didn't want to give it right away. And then doesn't seem to be anything over here. No. There is something over there, but I don't know how to interact with it. So this island, not very helpful yet. Let's go to the Outlands. Check this out. This place looks kind of interesting here. And don't worry, if you're watching this and you think I'm going a little bit too slow, I will pick up the pace eventually. I just want to warm everybody up, introduce you to the world of Billy Saves the World. And I'll break it up into chapters too, so if you're stuck at a certain point... This is our first glow bug, I believe. So he dropped some loot. So here we can see our inventory. Obviously, we got a bronze explorer coin, silver, but then we have this thing here. So it's just a golden kind of yellow, shiny thing. We don't know what it is, and the description is just question marks. We don't know the name of it. So you can see here, the big letters here tell you the name of items, and then there's below that a description. This one here, question mark, I'm not sure what this is. So we don't know what this is. We do know what everything else is because we've been told already. We found the surface soil earlier in the Intergalactic Space Club. We used it to create mud. So we do know what this is, but we don't know what this is. Now, if you had the Alchemist heart, those would not be question marks. It would tell you the name of this item and a description of the item. And the description would give you a hint as to what perhaps you could use that item for. Because if you look on the right-hand side of the screen, you can actually mix things together. These two don't go. As you can see, they shake. So that means we can't mix those together. Now, if you had the Alchemist heart, you see on the right side there, the bottom square, there's 3 lines there. If these two things would make something, it would actually tell you ahead of time what they make, so you do not waste any time combining items that don't do anything. So that is kind of the reason for the Alchemist heart. You will know very early on what each item is that you're picking up, and which ones you might want to mix together, because it could come in handy if you need stuff on the go, which I'll get to later on. As you can see, we have the full day-night cycle as well. It's getting dark. Very dark, actually. Right now, these jumps are just big enough for me to make. Oh, didn't make that one. I feel like I might have had a frame drop there. I went right through it. Jumps are hard. Maybe I shouldn't be exploring here yet. It seems a bit hard to traverse. All right, we got water this time from this guy. And something else. We got whatever that is. Let's try this way. There's a cave. I don't think I can make that jump. Too afraid to try. I could go in here though. Let's see what's inside here. Alright, so we got another cave. This looks kind of tricky. I don't know if I want to attempt this yet. So the caves behave very similarly to levels. They're just kind of random platforming levels. You do not have to do them for the most part. I don't think you really ever have to do any of them. But they're there for people who want a little extra challenge, or if you like platforming, you can use this as a way to collect the SP that you need. So let's try it. Let's do it. Let's give it a go. It's going to be tricky because I don't have any abilities here. But I'm allowed in, so it must mean I can do something here. And collect all these SP. Oh, there's a coin over there. To the right. I have no idea how to get that. Just take things slowly. Don't let these platforms make you panic. They fall. You got plenty of time. It may not look like it, but you do. You don't have to panic. Take your time. I'm obviously going to make this look easier than it is, but I'm just going to go. Alright, just like that. Beat that level. There we go, 131 SP. This is probably telling me I've collected enough SP. Now I can take it back to Mac so he can install the Appy Store on my phone. I was gonna double check to make sure my game is recording. It is. And you know what? Since it is, this might be a great time for a word from our sponsor. This week's sponsor is me. I post free clips from my podcast every Monday and publish new indie game videos where I share feedback from the perspective of a writer, designer, and player every Wednesday. Please like, subscribe, and most of all, comment. It helps me and the developers. You can also sign up to my Patreon absolutely free and get access to Discord and receive a letter from me on the last day of every month as a thank you. Free subscribers actually helps when I approach distributors and publishers, so don't be shy. I also offer 3 paid membership tiers, each with their own set of perks. My personal favorite being the premium membership. For just $5, you get access to my podcast, private Discord channels, and an exclusive video every single month. Best of all the money I receive goes right back into helping me make more movies and more video games for you all to enjoy. Thanks for listening, and please enjoy the video. And we're back! Alright, and as you can see, I have full health. That was because I finished a cave. So every time you finish a cave, you're rewarded with not only SP, but also all of your health is replenished. And that was actually a great suggestion from the tiny community I had helping me when I was developing this game. That was one of their suggestions, and I think it was the right choice. So alright, so let's say you watch that level and you're like, man, that looked pretty difficult. I don't know if I could do that. Let's say you can't do that. How else would you have gotten that SP? How would you have gotten 50 more SP to get 100? Maybe you keep exploring the world, or maybe you check out here. Let's see what's on the East Island. So pretend I don't have the SP. Pretend I still have 57 or whatever I had. We're still gonna need 43. This character was named after someone who won a contest. I was doing a contest for my Patreon like years and years and years ago. Like truly, when I first started the idea of this game, and this person won, and so they were able to name this alien. So that's why this alien is named that. Critters here, these little furballs. These little furballs, director commentary moment here. They're actually designed, I think they're called gobos or something. They're actually designed to be very similar to the little furballs in Croc. If you remember an old PlayStation game, which coincidentally just got remastered very recently when I'm recording this, Croc Remastered. It was a 3D platforming on the PlayStation where you played like a crocodile, and they had, I think they were called Gobos, Legend of the Gobos or something like that, but there were these brown little furry creature things, and they looked kind of like these, and that's where I got the inspiration for these little critters. They do nothing, they're just here to add some animation and liveliness to the scenes. And there is actually a bug I've never bothered to fix. I didn't even tell anyone about it. I noticed it myself. I never once told any programmer about it. And the bug is they, for some reason, interact with your phone. So watch, we've got 4, not all the time, but usually. So there's 4. There's 3 on the right, 1 on the left. If I open my phone and close it, oh, all right, they're fine. Sometimes, oh, there we go. See that one? You see that one? The phone actually pushes these guys. They somehow interact with the phone and they get flung, usually way higher. Like usually they get flung off the screen and you never even see them again. But yeah, little fun fact there. I just left that in. Didn't really care. We're actually able to get a lot of SP just from exploring here. So what's this? Campsite. Again, I'm being a little slow. I'm sorry if you're looking for a very fast-paced walkthrough. That'll come, but again, I just want to introduce everybody, get everybody acquainted with these islands and what they're all about. So we've already seen all 4 islands. The West Island, there's not much we can do there yet. The North Island is where your kind of home base is. The Eastern Island here is the kind of village. Think of it as the one village in the game where you know, if it was an RPG, you would come here to buy armor and potions and all that kind of stuff here. And not armor in my game, but if this was an RPG kind of thing, you would have your inn, that kind of stuff. You get some side quests. This is like the central village of Billy Saves the World. Very key. I would definitely come here no matter what kind of gamer you are, if you're an explorer or RPG, like a platformer. This is a good place to visit. Again, we are finding one of these things. We can't get past it. So this is we're starting to see some limitations here. That's kind of the Metroidvania element of the game. We can't get into these still. We saw one of these earlier. But yeah, that's part of the Metroidvania thing, where it's like, okay, you need abilities to get by certain things, and the more abilities you have, the more world you can explore. We got a llama here. And then there's this is the village, and then the South Island is called the Outlands, and you'll learn from talking to people that's kind of the dangerous area that explorers use to get SP. That's where you would go, and yeah, if you ever need SP, there's a lot of levels there you can do to get SP, but it is dangerous. And behind in the distance there, you can see the capital city. You never do end up getting to go to the capital city in this game, just as a little heads up. We do talk about it. It is teased a number of times through dialogue, through certain NPCs, and you do get a good sense of who is there and what happened, why these locals in this little village, this camp, it's called the Home of the Faithfuls, why they're here. They were pushed out of the capital for their faith, along with Elder, who resides on the Western Isle. Here we have some slime creature here. I'm not going to talk to anybody yet. I'm just seeing how much SP I can actually get from just exploring here. I feel like I'd be getting pretty close to the 100 that I need just from exploring. So if you want to take things slower and just take your time, you could probably get all you need just from walking around and doing that first initial basic cave at the very beginning of the game when you find yourself on this planet. We've got some guy over here who's shouting. I always like that joke. No one, I don't think anyone really cares, but I always personally like to slap my stupid face. I thought that was funny. I don't like very many of my jokes, but I did like that one. So I got some kind of fanatic. A doofus, a crackerjack, a grade A Dumbo. I just like this character, I think. Alright, not much more of this guy. Kind of an odd character, but he's kind of doomsday prepping. He said he stocked up on Chudd or something like that. What is this place? Can't get up there. This is in the trailer. Well. Looks like a well. Oh well. Some people hate that joke in a good way. They're just like, oh, they roll their eyes. I love it. It's two jokes I like. Not sure what we do there yet. But keep all this stuff in mind. That's all obviously means something. And again, I'm going to come back to all this. I'll start playing the game kind of regularly pretty soon here. Pro tip, you can just slide jump here. You don't need to wait for that platform. Save you some time. It's much easier when you have the double jump later on in the game. Okay, I've already been here. Oh, let's go inside here. You do have to wait when you don't have the double jump. You do have to wait right here. Now, this song here was done by Tom Retsick. You cannot hear it yet. It kind of takes a while. It is playing. You just can't really hear it until it gets later on to the song. It gets a little louder. Right, there we go. A lot of people think it has a bit of a Monkey Island vibe to it with that marimba instrument. But I thought it perfectly suited this cozy little tavern-like place. This area looks way different than it originally did. In the original game, it was horrible. I'm really glad it turned out the way it looks in this. There's a lot more interesting things to look at. The early versions of this were just terrible. I'm glad sometimes I looked at levels and I was like, should I just scrap it and start fresh? It's such a daunting task when you scrap something, but this is one of the, every time it's almost always worth it to just scrap something and start fresh, and this really paid off. It looks a lot better. It looks more lived in, like these people are actually here. I did wish we could have more animation, like maybe these guys in the front were drinking, raising a glass to their mouth kind of thing, but whatever. Can't have everything, We're on a budget. They're breathing at least. You can see them kind of moving up and down. And they're all, a lot of them look different too. That one has like mud on its face, this one doesn't. Sitting, hood up, hood down, beard. This character, a lot of people love this character. Gloop. Sorry, madam, I'm pacing here. Alright. I recommend everyone talk to this character. for a lot of different reasons. Hey, you look like a good joke. You ever hear about the one about the muffins? I don't have time. No, please tell me. Haha, well, get this. 2 muffins are baking in an oven. One says to the other, wow, it sure is hot in here. The other says, whoa, a talking muffin. Haha. It's a joke my dad told me when I was a kid. I always remembered it and liked it. Then if you talk to him again, you look like you like to laugh. You ever hear the joke about Vortex 1? I'm not in the mood. No, please tell me. Haha, well, get this. A Xylon from Sector 9 says, open up. A voice from inside Vortex 1 says, make me. Haha, get it? Because he's from Sector 9? Another stupid little joke there. If you keep talking to him, though. My name is JTT, pleased to meet you. You seem new around here, and it's not because you look strange either, it's because you appear to be chasing SP just like everyone else. But you want to know a little secret? SP isn't what it's cracked up to be. No. It's getting quite scarce, to tell you the truth. That's why I gave up on it and started living off the land. With a little experimentation, you can make everything you need with a little of this and a little of that, and no more risking my life collecting SP. Now I just stir up some juice and some grass, and I've got my health in check without needing a single proton. Hint! Those are hints, people! I see so many people read this. I've even seen people read this and go, oh, okay, and then they forget. Keep this in mind. Some juice, some grass, hints. Keep talking to him. You said your name is JTT. Does that stand for anything? Probably one of the best jokes in the game. Jonathan Taylor Thomas. No way, really? Yes, why? Oh, nothing. There's a famous guy on my home planet with that exact name. That is a strange coincidence. What's this creature's last name? Thomas. His name is Jonathan Taylor Thomas? No, his first name is Jonathan, middle name Taylor, and his last name Thomas. Oh, then we are not the same at all. My first name is Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Oh, what's your last name? Sir Anthony Hopkins. Whew. Oh boy, I'm funny. I am hilarious! Remember, SP isn't everything in life. The natural habitat of Arlet provides everything you need. Just take a little know-how. Just takes a little know-how. If there's one thing you take from me, let it be that. And maybe one of my great jokes. Keep talking to him. You were saying you make everything you need. You can keep talking to characters. A lot of people, you know, I feel like that's a classic RPG thing. You just keep talking until you exhaust the dialogue. Some have a lot to say, some don't. This guy, I would say it's worth reading everything he says. Can you teach me how to make something cool? A magician never reveals his tricks. But I'm no magician, so listen up. You get yourself some good old-fashioned water and mix it with some critter's blood, and you'll find yourself with booster juice. Very important. Now, booster juice isn't all that great on its own, but you mix it with just about anything and you'll be making all sorts of helpful potions. You go on now. I need to think of some more jokes. All right, so he's done. He's done talking. So that's an important thing to remember. Water and booster juice. It's funny how many people... Well, I'll get to that later, actually. I'll reveal that little tidbit later on. So you can talk to these creatures here. They'll flesh out more of the lore and the story for you. There's some things you can examine here. This one's kind of interesting. So we've got Sven the Scoundrel, last leaving Sierra. Please report to the capital with any information. This one here looks like an ad. It says, bored, join the Midnight Society, blah, 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 blah. Cool, maybe I should stop by. Looks like an ad for tents. Order now and get a bonus tent for free. I don't need one, but blah, blah, blah. So this is really the only important one you want to read, the middle one here. Every night we meet under Joe's for ghastly tales and interactive games. Every night. This is something where the day-night may, in fact, play a part. And here is the world-famous Joe. Named after Trader Joe. Trader Joe's. So you can use this to buy stuff. You can sell him some things. And you can ask him some questions. Hey, when do you get more stock? Most of my rare items are one and done. Potions come in every 3 cycles or so, and if you fancy a drink, well, you look too young actually, so never mind. Oh, and if you're looking for some Chudd, don't bother. Some lunatic came in screaming about the end of the world and bought my whole supply. That was that guy we met earlier. Remember him? That fanatic. So let's see what we got here. Now, if you're exploring, maybe you can't solve any puzzles, maybe you can't do any of the levels. You could have just walked around a bit, collected some SP, and then maybe even sell him some things. We've got this, get 5. This is worth 25, so right there, sell those 2. That's 50 coin. That's 50 SP right there, plus 40. So that's almost 100 SP plus this. You got that's it. There we go. It's 100 SP. 50 here, 40 here, 5 and 5. That's 100. There's a lot of different ways you can solve just this this first quest here. And I haven't even shown you. Oh, we haven't even seen what this guy can buy here. So we got a banana, a rare import from planet Earth. Pro tip, most yank the top handle down to peel. This is a true fact. This works, but it's not the most effective way to peel a banana. To peel properly, pinch the bottom end and peel it. A lot of people open bananas the incorrect way. A lot of people kind of yank on the part, that little hanger part, the handle, and peel it that way. But if you pinch the bottom, like this says, it actually splits open perfectly. It's actually, I think, how like apes do it. But yeah, I tried it. I learned that on the set of my very first movie. Lori Kingwell told me that little tip. I actually have that. I actually have her on camera telling me that story, and I've always remembered it. Here's the Chudd. It's out. Can't buy any. Lovingly squeezed from the proctal sac of a heavily sedated xenoglarb. Goopy enough to eat and smooth enough to drink. It's Chudd. That was a... I let people in the community name this item. Someone won. It was... Who did this? It was Bernadette. Bernadette was the winner of this. She got to name this item, so we called it Canned Chudd. And... yeah. And then Roderick did the art for that as well. We got a cave navigator here for 200 SP, the perfect companion piece for all explorers. This device can scan any cave before you enter and reveal various stats, including its difficulty, helpful tips. Well, this is a very good item. Don't underestimate it. But we don't have enough. Don't buy it yet. Some health boosters. A lanky ragdoll. He sold out of that as well. A masterfully woven ragdoll made of the finest thread. Its long arms and legs make this a great decoration to hang from trees for all sorts of silly fun. All the descriptions are meant to be entertaining, but also hints. They're always hinting at things you might want to use these things for. One swig of this and it will make you shine bright. So this is obviously how you can glow in the dark. We got a potion of speed. It'll make you run fast. Don't forget about these things. They come in handy. You can use it. You can use them anytime you want to. There's no real place you have to use them. But if you're ever struggling, I've seen people use them in certain parts of the game to help them beat certain places they can't get through. Even places I didn't even intend them to be used. People use them and they really help them out. We got spare parts, screws and scraps to build whatever you want. They're out. A space helmet, jump into deep space or dive deep under the sea. So here's the thing. This costs 850 SP. That's a lot of SP. You also saw the alien heart as well. Now the reason there's 2 solutions is because this game, I always try to offer solutions for people who are both action-oriented or puzzle-solving oriented. In order to get all of the hearts, a lot of them do require using more puzzle solving to get more hearts. But if you're too impatient and you don't like doing that, that usually means you're generally more of an action gamer. That means you're probably going to have more SP because you're probably completing more levels. So if you can't figure out how to get the alien heart, then just come here, spend the money, and you have a space helmet. Now you don't even need the alien heart. Up to you. It's a little spoiler. Not a spoiler, but, you know. This here is a funny little item. This is something I wanted in the game, but they said it would be too hard to do for some reason, the programmers, so I just said okay. But I wanted to let people know that I was considering it and I really wanted it in the game. So it says open a wormhole in any cave to act as a respawn point. Sliders close upon completion of the cave it's used in. So it would basically be like a portable checkpoint system. And I really wanted it in there, but I think it would have been very helpful. I think people would have loved it, but we just couldn't do it for some reason. And it's a nod to the TV show Sliders, obviously. A seashell, a rare seashell from the depths of Aquarius. It looks very nice, feels nicer, and if you hold it up to your ear, you can practically hear the songs from the mermaid choirs of Atlantis. Huh. Like a seashell from the ocean. Interesting. Rubber band, the stretchiest rubber band from the stretchiest planet in the solar system, made with 100% rare rubber and the bones of human children. Rocking chair, wow, that's a lot of money. An expertly crafted rocking chair made with rare exotic wood. If you respect wood, then this is for you. I totally forgot. So that there, if you respect wood, that's a inside joke for Curb Your Enthusiasm. There was also another nod to Curb Your Enthusiasm in the prologue. I can't believe I forgot to mention it, but in the background it says the little diner that you're in front of, it says whatever, it's pretty good. So that's a little nod to Curb Your Enthusiasm. There's a bunch of there's a huge Seinfeld one later in the game I'll show you involving this rocking chair actually. Pure water, a rare droplet of water from Angel Falls. It's so rare that one should only ever use it for decorative purposes. And then we got a 600 SP Time Cleaver's Clock, a rare find. Interesting. Okay, so we got a bunch of items here. Anything here stand out for anything? Do we need any of this stuff? I don't know. Let's see. We don't really have any side quests. Well, we do have this guy. He mentioned his glory days. I bet he could find something that would take him back to his days as an ocean explorer. I'm trying to make it obvious here, guys. I'm trying to make it obvious. If you're watching this, let's see. What is there anything this guy has I could donate to him maybe? Let's see. I mean, there is the seashell. That's something from the ocean. And if you're blind, you know, you can put this up to your ear and it'll bring you, you know, when you have a seashell, when you're at the beach, if you put your ear to a real seashell in real life, you can actually hear ocean sounds, right? Maybe it's 50. Should I waste? I got the money. Let's do it. I'm going to buy that. Let's see if that guy will like that. That makes sense to me. All right. How much time have I been going for? All right, this episode's already longer than the first one. I really hope my audio is recording. It'd be so terrible if it wasn't. So we can go back. Now this stuff is regenerated already. So that's interesting. So just as a little heads up, I believe it's every 6 cycles, day-night cycles, the surface is able to regenerate SP. So just keep that in mind as well. If you ever need SP, it does come back. Let's see if this guy will take this, a seashell. Nice. anything for that? Oh no, did I find a little... maybe I can give this guy a proper burial. What did you say? Oh, he's distracted. He's got the shell. Oh, nothing. Cool. So I got the 50 SP back just for doing that. So either way, you could sell things, you could explore, you could go into the caves, you can do puzzles. Then there's more puzzles you could solve, but either way, you'll probably end up with some SP. And I actually noticed a glitch right here. I shouldn't have this. I realized that if you press A on the canned Chudd, even though it's sold out, it looks like I can take it. I gotta fix that. So if you're watching, don't try that. I'll probably have patched that out. So this shouldn't be here. That's funny. Anyway. So I've collected enough SP, now I can take it back to Mac so he can install the Appy store on my phone. So let's do that. This is the first big quest that we get. And like I said, you could do it in a number of different ways. I tried to show you a little bit of each, whether it was going through a cave, whether it was just exploring, selling items, or solving puzzles. You can approach the entire game that way. So keep that in mind. If you're ever stuck, use your head, and it's never obvious. I try not to make it obvious so that people would feel rewarded for trying things. Getting a phone call here. Jumping jalopies, that was fast. Now we're getting kind of our first big mission. I forget if I mentioned it as well in the first episode, but Bronson was designed and molded after a character from Team America. So, Bronson told me to meet him just west of the ISC. We're going to find their intern, Professor Lee, and trade him a gadget in exchange for a super duper big ball of SP that he found. I'll need to open the Appy store on my phone, purchase and use boot busters in order to reach him. So let's do that. So now you have the Appy store on your phone. It's a brand new app. The ISC has installed it. What do we have here? We've got anti-paste. Cool. So you can buy anti-paste now on the go. If you ever need anti-paste, which I'll talk about later on, it's expensive, but it might come in handy. Here's our boot busters. Oh, they cost 25 SP. I think we have enough SP already. I want to see if this allows me to buy it even though it's sold out, because if so, that means we have another glitch. And we can also buy potions of speed and potions of bright on the go, health boosters on the go. So this is a pretty handy app. Don't forget about it, because when you're out and you might need some help and you maybe forgot to stock up at Joe's before heading out, this might save you in a pinch. But again, it's more expensive to buy from here than it is from Joe, so keep that in mind. We also have a stata data. So let's get the boot busters. This is the only item you have to really equip. It's kind of a weird, not a glitch, but it's a weird thing in our system. I don't know why. Only these items you have to, I think this and maybe the rogue gloves, you have to actually equip them, use them. And now they're on our upgrades page. So here's the boot busters. I've got the universal translator, I've got the hearts, and the boot busters. Lots of other collectibles to get. So now, cool, I can double jump. This will make things a lot easier. Double jump's always the best, right? Nice, cool. So now we must go do our first mission. This is where the guide is going to really begin. I've kind of introduced you to the game. You now see the different ways you can approach all situations. From here on out, I'll probably play this more direct and kind of more to the point. And I'm not going to kind of beat around the bush as much. I'll still try to give you hints as I can, but this is kind of where things really kick into high gear. So I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.